Hey everybody, and welcome to a very special, possibly non-canonical episode of Is It Kino? I am Simian Jimmy, joined today by my partner in crime, the only man whose mind I would like to jack, Florian Himsel.
Wow, non-canonical? I'll be in the comics this time? That's crazy.
Well, when we recorded the Dream Scenario Kino, I said at the beginning that it's the first Kino of the year, but now this one's coming out before it. But this is about a book and not a movie. Very different. So kind of non-canonical episode.
I see. Yeah, I didn't even think this was Kino. All right, let's find out.
Yeah, so basically, I'm sitting at home one day, minding my own business, and I get a notification on my phone, Florian. It's a Patreon notification. Don't get those too often anymore. Wow. And it says, let's see, I don't know what his Patreon username is, but this guy, Scott Moth, has pledged $180 to the Simian Jimmy Patreon. And my immediate thought is, finally somebody recognizes my worth. Every single one of these fans should be pledging at least $150 a month. You know, $180. That's a little closer to what it should be. But alas,
the videos will finally come back. There'll be many of them.
Oh, how dare you! I just posted a Medea video like a month ago.
Yeah, I know. What are we paying you this once for, huh?
And technically, this video or this podcast, I'll get into it. Anyway. I think it's just a fan who wants to support their favorite monkey man. But then I get a Patreon message from him saying that $180 is for you to make an Is It Kino podcast reviewing my book. And then he sends me a PDF of his book.
Wow, I would not do that for $100. Jesus, I'm reading an entire book.
Well, here's the thing. $180. That's a pretty hefty chunk of change. I'm not going to scoff at that at all. Reading a whole book for it and reviewing it in this podcast, I think it's a pretty fair deal. I used to do $100 Patreon video requests. But
wow,
I think
really donate more and request some cool stuff then.
Well, here's what I'm going to say right now. I only did this out of the goodness of my heart. I don't know if this 16-year-old boy knows how business works, but usually you have to agree to something. So I very easily could have said, fuck you, no refunds. This is my money now. I'm not reading your gay-ass little book. But, I was intrigued by the premise, and I've been talking to this guy for a couple of years now. I don't want to get things mixed up. I'm 99% sure this is the same kid who wrote a sequel to my book, The Triflers, and then me and Biggs read a page of it and made fun of it and said it was shit. And I think that inspired him to...
He came back for more.
That's right. I think it inspired him to make his own original work. And if this is a completely different person somehow, then I'm embarrassed, but it is what it is. You all blend, in my mind, as the same homologous fan.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you all just cash.
Yeah. Well, actually, most of them are not cash. Most of them are not even a comment or a like. They're just a view count, but that's fine. That's all I need. So
don't count.
So his book that he sent me is called Mind Jacker. It's the story of a middle school boy who gets the ability, when he's meditating, he can enter the mind of anybody within the state of Florida. That's the range of it. That's where he lives. And he can think of a specific person, and then he goes into their brain, and his consciousness takes them over, and he can do whatever he wants in their body. Or he can think of something generic like fat cop, and then he'll take over the closest fat cop.
Hell yeah. Who wouldn't want to be a fat cop? Is that a thing he does specifically in the book?
He takes over a lot of cops and forces them to go on a lot of rampages and horrible massacres.
I thought he was going to be like a Death Note guy who only acts out of the most moral of intuitions,
No, the reason why I wanted Florian here for this review of a book he has not read and that nobody else on earth has read but me and this kid and his editors that he paid over $1,200 for on Fiverr, evidently, is because this is a book that is a celebration of edginess and And I think that's why he really wanted me to take a look at it. I think he respects the edginess I bring to the table, and he wanted to perhaps exceed my edginess with this book. And it's really a celebration of things that most people are not comfortable with.
Wow. The number one thing you're known for. How fitting, yes.
Yeah, the book
edginess in itself, nothing more important than that.
Yeah, I'll give just a brief thought on like just most of the elements of it, but the main thing I want to get to is, and maybe we'll skip to the end here. When the book
definitely do a full plot thing, you know?
Right. But when the book ends, and it ends very abruptly and is very unsatisfactory in my opinion. But then, like the final 10 pages is an author's notes, and it's basically like an edgy teenager essay that like any chance of interpreting the narrative of the book in your own mind as a reader is eliminated, because the kid tells you exactly what his actual genuine beliefs and thoughts are, and you realize...
That's how I like it best.
Yeah.
Subtext, no thanks, am I right?
Yeah, and you realize a lot of the edginess is not really tongue-in-cheek, it's just who he is. So I wanted to read some of this to you and like get like Florian's live reaction to this little essay he wrote at the end of the book.
Wow. So it's just like you, where you act edgy, but then it's actually all true, you know?
Sure, yeah, if you say so. But I'm going to read this. It's kind of long, so maybe I'll skip around, but I want to get your thoughts on this. This is from a 16-year-old author. Let's see. At the same time, we have a matrix that needs to be destroyed. Mindjacker is but a single artillery piece in a war against a vast joint-arm war force intending to enslave us as tightly as possible. Gandalf once said, "It is the small everyday deeds of ordinary folk that keep the darkness at bay." By sharing Mindjacker and other anti-woke media, promoting valuable anti-woke actors, having families, standing up to school boards, and saying no to Gnostic cults in a variety of other ways, we keep the darkness at bay.
Yeah, that's amazing. I sure love that everyone who's supposedly anti-woke is also just completely a lunatic and has conspiracy theories going on. Hell yeah.
We must be strong and not cannibalize each other. When Matrix agents find the dirt that all of us inevitably have, we cannot divide and turn on each other. If Agent Smith is dangling a bag of decomposed matter in front of you, you must go down boldly, as his puppet master's tyranny is maintained on cowardice. When we, people, not part of the cult play, policeman while the city is on fire, we all burn to death. Okay, there's a part about Biden here. I'm going to scroll down to the Biden part.
Of course. Yes, Biden, the dark puppet master, of course.
What else could we talk about before you put the book down and start browsing trap porn on 4chan? And then like emoticon with the P, like the tongue sticking out face.
Wow, of course you're gonna use emoticons in your author notes.
Well, the Biden regime is absolutely outrageous. Cocaine in the White House, the money laundering scheme known as funding Ukraine.
Before. Nobody's ever used cocaine in the White House before, yeah.
Everything that has happened to our economy, the political third world persecution of Donald Trump, the destruction and willful negligence in Hawaii, the grooming and transitioning of kids, it has to stop. We all know the double standard. We know the tyranny, and they're going after Trump because he stands in the way of you. At the time of writing, Trump is ahead by 10 points in most left-wing cult polls. And he spelled polls like North Pole instead of a political poll. So shout out to his $1,200 editor on that one. The country...
Well, he is ahead in being on a stripper pole, you know. He's definitely ahead in that department.
Okay, I'm gonna edit in like live audience applause and laughing after that one. I really should. That'd be pretty funny.
Probably needs a slide whistle too.
Yeah. I can grab that real quick if you want.
Too late.
Okay, say the joke again. The country wants MAGA, not the Matrix. Green Day might beg to differ, Florian. Don't want to be a Canadian idiot.
Oh, yeah. Man, Green Day, that was a while ago.
They did a New Year's Eve performance, and they said, "Don't want to be a MAGA idiot."
Ah, perfect.
Yeah. I thought you would have already heard that song like 100 times.
The song where they changed one word?
Yeah. Well,
they do a lot of different lyrics.
I don't know. I didn't listen to it. I just saw people crying about it on Twitter.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, I'm going to listen to this at some point. Sounds great.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I want this election to be free, and I deeply hope no election EF happens. I thought that meant election interference, but I don't know what EF is. Wait, no. Then he says, even though EI is happening every day. So he says, I deeply hope no EF happens, comma, even though EI is happening every day. Was it a mistake, or does F stand for something else? Election fraud?
I guess that's the word he usually uses, yeah.
But if we have another 2020, then there is no going back. The country is lost if we don't water the tree. We are at a vital point that determines the historical cycles of American civilization. Every region of the world operates on historical cycles, and if you want to know more, watch What If Faultist, who's much smart. Maybe that's a YouTuber, I don't know. Who's much smarter than me, and his videos will absolutely change the way you see the world. In this part of human history, the American project will be shaped either to have cycles of matrix slavery or those of liberty. The everyday actions of normal people determine the course of the world. So, pretty inspirational here at the end of this book about a middle schooler having lots of sex.
Yeah, definitely wants to double down on that mistake of trying to overthrow the government as with Trump. Yeah. Definitely gonna go well this time, I'm sure.
So now that I need to dive into the actual contents of the book, I do want to tell a short story of my own incompetence. So he requested reading. Well, when he paid me, he requested an Izakino review, and then when I started reading it, I was kind of hooked by the premise, and I thought, well, this is kind of intriguing. A fan who was inspired by my work went on to make an even edgier book. Maybe I'll review this on the main channel. So I took extensive notes, like every single thought that popped into my mind based on anything, several pages of very detailed notes. And then when I sit down to write the script for the video, my notes are just gone. Like hours before. I opened up every single Google Drive account I have. I have like 13 fucking emails. It's not in any of them. I have no idea where these notes went. I'm pissed. I'm sad. And then I realize, well, making a YouTube video about a book is kind of rough. Like, what are you supposed to show on screen? Am I going to sit in front of the camera and talk about this?
And that was a pretty good video.
Right. But that was easier because it was Mr. Enter. And Mr. Enter made a lot of videos about his book that I could use footage from. But like for this,
I guess you would have had to build a really expensive set, and then you smoke a pipe while reading in front of a fire.
Yeah, I could have done that.
That's probably the best.
But then once my notes were missing and I didn't want to reread the whole fucking book to redo my notes, I figured I'll just go back to what he originally requested and just do an Izakino on it. So that's how we got here.
Why do you use Google Docs? Wouldn't it be more convenient just have a text file for notes that you don't share with anyone?
Well, sometimes I'm using my laptop, sometimes I'm on desktop,
That makes sense.
Yeah, jump onto my phone to type some notes in or something. But anyway, so the book, I think the imagination perhaps is lacking. I don't want to be too critical because I did give the book a 5-star review on Goodreads because he put his book on Goodreads.
5?
Yeah, 5 out of, just be nice because that was the only review.
Very nice.
And I appreciate the book in theory, but this idea of you can take over anybody's brain and do anything, that in my mind has limitless potential. There are so many directions you could go, and I think he chose the least interesting one possible.
I mean, what would he even do? Like, if he's so politically motivated, wouldn't he just like do political stuff all the time?
He basically, like, the character has a love interest who is also a middle school kid, and this girl is like a hardcore drug dealer, like full on in a gang, and the gang is called like the Velociraptors, like named after fucking dinosaurs, like stupid shit like that. I did not think was that.
That's a good name.
I thought it was kind of stupid, but there's a lot of just gang activity. Most of the book is about the main character and this girl forming a squad for their gang and using this power to like rob people's houses and just kill a lot of people. And in my mind, you could have done anything else with it. Like at the beginning, the character's like, oh, I could use this to go into all of my classmates and I could peep through their notes and, you know, their diaries and stuff. And I thought, oh, that's pretty intriguing. This is a super edgy book. I'm sure you could fill up so many pages with hilarious, edgy diary entries from some girl or something like that. But then he never really goes into detail. He just gives the big idea of what he could do. And then it basically just goes to, we're going to rob people and kill people.
Never has time to do anything useful. Wow, it's so insane. Like, you wouldn't need to rob people if you have that level of power, right? You could just, like, I guess technically it would be robbing, but, I mean, you could probably do useful things for people and then get money that way.
Yeah, and I don't know what he was thinking, but... like they find the guy who they want to rob, like he'll jack into random people's minds until he finds, you know, the right target. And this like single man who lives alone and he has, you know, all sorts of money and valuables. In his safe, he has signed copies of Diary of a Wimpy Kid books. Like, this is supposed to be like this rare, valuable collector's item worth a lot of money that this guy keeps in his safe, and that these characters, like, mindjack him to steal this. And I know it has to be just like a reference to me, but it's ridiculous. It's just stupid. Like, why did you put that in the book?
I mean, I guess it depends how he puts it in. Like, you could probably make it work that it's, like, set up to be funny, but if it's just played straight, I guess that would be pretty stupid. Yeah.
I don't believe any of the book is meant to be, like, satirical or comedic in tone. I think it's fairly serious, but I don't know. I mean... there's also... the main character has an incel sister who... is constantly complaining about loneliness, and she's like watching Watamote anime in her room all day. And then like by the end of the book, she becomes a school shooter, and she like shoots up the school, and then he has to like jack into his own sister to stop her.
A very likely scenario, yes.
I did like that he broke the mold, okay? We don't usually get stories of female incel school shooters. And there's even a scene where she almost has sex with a black guy, but then he doesn't want to. She's not really incel. Like, she can get pretty close to having sex, and, you know, she just has to put herself out there more. But she decides to go down the shooting route.
If you get really close and then just keep getting rejected. Is she like ugly or something?
I think they said she was like tall. It was probably in my notes that have disappeared.
Well, I mean, tall sounds good to me, but I mean, whatever.
About the powers, like, where did he get this power to mind jack? I've talked about this.
Know.
I talked about this.
Find out, right?
Oh, we do. We do. And this is also, and I feel like I'm just complaining a lot, but whatever. Personally, and everybody can have their own preference, but personally, when it comes to some sort of supernatural phenomenon in a story like this, and I think I've talked about this recently in another podcast, I prefer the Groundhog Day method, where the supernatural element creates the ability to have an interesting story, but they don't really explain how or why it's happening. It's just the catalyst for the story. I was hoping that's the route this was going to go, like this kid just randomly gets this power, but he really ends up diving deep into this other realm of psychic gods, and there's like dozens of these gods, and they're but it's very specific and nebulous at the same time. Like, nothing is really fleshed out in a way that is explained or explainable. And like these characters are psychically communicating with the gods at times, and the gods seem to want them to go on murderous, violent rampages. I don't think we are told why. It would have been better if he just had the power and you left all that shit out.
Well, it would make sense if he does like violence, and then the reason for it is because the gods made him do it. But then if he doesn't actually fight against that, then I guess it's just stupid and doesn't make any sense.
No, they just give him the powers, and the gods seem to want him to kill people with it. But he basically has free will.
He stops his sister, and I guess that might be against what the gods would have intended with giving him the violence powers. But do they ever talk to him and tell him to do stuff? Yeah,
when he meditates really hard and inside of his mind jacker brain world, he can like eventually communicate with them. But it was all so unnecessary for me. And also, there's too much gang stuff. Like, most of the book is these middle school kids having sex with each other in scenes that are lots of sex scenes with small children. And then they're also building up their fucking gangster gang empire. Just not the direction I would have taken this premise.
Like, how do you even have gangster stuff? Couldn't you just, like, beat a gangster and then commit suicide? Wouldn't that solve the problem?
No, they want to be in a gang. Like, they want to steal stuff from people's houses and then fence it and sell it.
Wars with other gangs, wouldn't they be easy to just win?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, they didn't really have gang wars. It's more of just forming a posse to commit all these crimes and stuff. They're
just uncontested. They're just the bad guys, and no one stops them.
There is my favorite part of the book is that there is a cop who is investigating this, and how do you investigate a supernatural phenomenon like this? How do you, there's police are randomly losing their minds and killing people and then committing suicide. How do you
even know,
Yeah, how do you even research something like that? But then the way that he sort of scientifically is able to identify and close in on what's going on with a supernatural element, that was very interesting. And then the cop has a wife, and there's this great, like, the great chapter in the book is when it's the main kid with the mind-jacking powers is trying to kill this cop, but he can't take over him. I don't remember why. So he's taking over, like, everybody in his neighborhood, and this guy's just, like, at his house, and his neighbors keep randomly coming over to try to kill him, and he's, like, he has to fight off and kill them all. It's great.
They're just zombies now.
Yeah, like, one at a time. Like, as soon as he defeats one of them, the mind-jacker just takes over another.
It's just like he's a video game boss, and the player just keeps respawning.
Yeah, it was great. And then, like, his own fiance, wife, whatever, like, she gets taken over. He has to abandon her. And then, unfortunately, he does succumb to death by the end of the chapter. But, his whole story arc of investigating and then this epic finale, I thought that was great. I wish there was more stuff like that and less discussion of the kids having sex.
Yeah, that probably would have been better.
Yeah,
on every level.
Yeah. There's also like a super edgy kid who, like, he like goes out in the middle of the night and like stabs homeless people to death just for fun. And he makes friends with the main guy, and then he's also part of the gang, but doesn't really go anywhere with the plot.
Well, do they like talk about how the homeless people have to die and how they're bad for society?
No, he just likes to kill people.
Oh.
Yeah, he just wanted to kill somebody.
I'm just like thinking, how on earth did that come together at all with the author notes at the end? Like, we see what you do with unlimited power. It's just kill a bunch of people, and then you also think that you're the good guy somehow by trying to help Trump. Curious.
There's also a lot of drug use in the book. Like these middle school kids are doing every single drug every day, all the time, and it's fine. He gets high on something that makes him go a little crazy, and then he accidentally mind jacks into a police officer, and he's still going nuts from the drugs, and that's when he like shoots up a restaurant and kills a bunch of innocent people, and then himself. There's another one where when they're stealing the guy's Diary of a Wimpy Kid books, the police show up, and then he has to take over the cop and make him like crash his car into the local mall or something. Just a bunch of taking over a cop and making him go on a rampage. That's most of the book.
Wow. I guess they're all part of the Matrix.
I'm wondering. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out if there's anything else I need to bring up, but I think I've covered most of the basis for people to understand what this novel is.
I mean, I guess in plot summary it sounds really boring, and the only thing mildly interesting would be the unhinged author notes. but maybe you're not doing it justice. Maybe it's actually really well written despite the horrible views.
No, I feel like I'm coming across too negative. Those are things that I maybe would have done differently myself. But overall, the writing, it's only 300 pages. I got through it in less than a week, and it was not like a chore. I was usually excited to come back and see what the next 50 pages had for me or whatever. And like it's not poorly written, and most of the prose is entertaining to read. A lot of the edgy diatribes are fun. As the violence might have been, there might have been too much of it compared to other creative choices he could have made, but the scenes were exciting to read. I'm just thinking, like, back in retrospect, I wish there was a little bit more variety in the things he did with this power.
Well, I guess it could have worked out.
But one of my biggest issues is how the book ends, and I don't mean the author's notes. That's probably the best part of the book.
Oh, yeah, let's get to that.
So the book comes to an abrupt end on the final page. Basically, he is able to kill the cop that was investigating him. We think that they basically won. There's a big riot in the streets. All these cops have been killed, and everybody's going nuts. The main character and his friends are like robbing, looting the mall or something. And then, like, in the final 2 paragraphs, they just get arrested and it's over.
Oh no, there's no way they could ever escape prison with this godlike ability.
Exactly. Like, I even messaged him like, wait, what? What do you mean he was arrested? He could just take over anybody's mind. And he said, well, he has to meditate to do that. Okay.
Free time in prison.
Yeah, he can't do that while handcuffed in the back of the squad car. He can't do that when he's getting booked. Like, what are you talking about? This kid could take over anybody's brain, and you think handcuffs are gonna stop him? What is this, sea stone cuffs here? Fucking devil fruit?
Matter. Like, he could even stay in prison and still have a really good life, considering that he could just live through other people.
Just imagine this, Florian. I'm gonna read the final 2 paragraphs to you. Imagine you have 290 pages of this plot, and this is how it resolves out of nowhere. After nearly an hour, Milo, Vanessa, and Stell left with their loot. They had alcohol, perfume, clothes, jewelry, and games. Milo even had a programmable calculator. He didn't know what that was, but it sounded cool. He could hear sirens and fireworks in the distance. They were walking with a handful of other people back to the strip mall. Much of the action was at the mall and the other strip malls. As they neared their car, they saw flashing lights in the distance. Have they taken over the strip mall? Vanessa thought. Then some of those lights started to get closer. Driving up to them, the group stopped, not sure what to do. Then the cop cars arrived. We need to search you all, said the masked officer that came out of the car first. The rest following, wielding their guns and gas masks. They took their balaclavas, I don't know that word, off.
Balaclava.
Yeah,
it's a ski mask.
They took their balaclavas off, and they were all arrested. Some more cop cars came to pick up the other people in the group. Milo and Vanessa were in the back of different cars, and Milo was with some strangers. Milo started to come down, euphoria fading. This is because he was on meth at the time. He was going to jail. He was a terrible person. He was going to be charged, and he was going to go away for a long time. He felt terrible, awful, vile, and much more. All he had done, all the people he killed, all the money he had stolen, the gifts he had given, the love he shared, the laws he had broken, all of it had been pointless. All of it had been his vanity. What would come next was unsure. And that's how the book ends.
Wow.
No, doesn't even try to explain why he can't mind Jack. Doesn't come up in the final paragraph. He doesn't even think, maybe I should try. Nothing!
I mean, I guess considering you're like the only person who's read it, he probably could add like a different final chapter. But I guess it's interesting how it's just like, yep, the end.
It's like he gave up. He just got bored writing the book. Like, I don't know what the fuck he's thinking.
He couldn't have. I mean, it's hard to think. Like, did he hire the editors first and then gave up on the final chapter, or did he run out of money for the editors so he couldn't write anymore, or
no?
What could possibly be the reason?
This is the ending he thought would be the good ending.
Yeah, he still had money because he paid you.
Usually, an epic ending in a book is built up throughout the entire narrative. And this was literally the last paragraph of the book. The cops just show up and arrest them. Like, there's nothing leads up to this.
Yeah, I mean, if he died, then at least that would make sense why it would be the end, right? But, like, just in prison, yep.
Yeah, he has not lost his power, I don't believe. He has not. In prison, he can easily just do this and get out. There's no... maybe he's planning a sequel, and that this is just like the abrupt ending for part 1, but I doubt it. There's also at the very end of the author's notes.
They have abrupt endings?
No, actually they don't.
Yeah, I mean, you could describe anything. Like in a movie, you might have an abrupt ending, and it might make sense, right? But I mean, there's gonna be books that have it too, right? But it probably makes more sense there.
Well, if we're going to compare it to a movie, it would be like if in the final 20 seconds, the characters like just got arrested out of nowhere and it was over. Like that's 20 seconds compared to the final 2 paragraphs.
Yeah, and then after they just defeated a cop and stuff.
Yeah, after they fulfill all their dreams and goals, they just like get stopped in their tracks in the final seconds.
Oh, what were their dreams and goals then? Did they?
Well, to be the #1 fucking gang, dude. Kill all the cops, make that money, rob the gun store, get those Diary of a Wimpy Kid books, you know.
I guess they spectacularly failed then at that. Considering they got arrested.
Now, after his author's note, there's something that says soundtrack, must read. Have you ever read a book that comes with its own soundtrack before?
No.
Well, let me know if you've...
I'm generally bad at reading books. I got one for last Christmas and I haven't read it yet.
Well, I'll send you an audiobook of The Triflers and you can pretend you read it. Okay, here's the soundtrack. Let me know if you've heard of any of these songs before, Florian. He says, these are some of the songs I listen to while writing, and I think listening to these songs would enhance the storytelling. I do not own any of these songs. Like, do you really need to clarify that?
Definitely.
I don't think anybody on Earth would have made that assumption.
Wait, it didn't come with an actual CD. You didn't. No, you got a PDF,
no,
right?
It's a text list of the songs. And he has to clarify he does not own them, as if he's like selling this and distributing the song illegally. As I only recommend you listen to them, and I recommend you listen to these songs legally. If you find a re-upload of one of these songs on YouTube, listen to it on Spotify or iTunes, or find the artist channel who made it and listen to the official video. If you're
Is this at the start or the end of the book?
This is the very end, like the final 2 pages.
Ah, yes, when you can't even do it anymore.
When it's too late. What, you don't? When you pick up a new book, you don't skip to the final pages and read them?
No, imagine.
Ah, shit. Okay. If you're an artist mentioned, I am not stealing your music. I am only giving you exposure. How could anybody come to that conclusion? Yeah. How would anybody think you're stealing the music by listing the songs you're recommending? I don't know. It's up to the reader to go to your channel or to purchase a subscription to a music service that your music is on. I don't know. Who is this for? To listen to the music in this list. These songs are also in no particular order. With that, let me show you the music of Mindjacker. Okay.
Also, while you read the book, please make sure to breathe and eat food at regular intervals.
Yeah, and
I recommend hot dogs and
Just don't eat any of that Biden cheese pizza, though.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the songs. And I don't know if this is the title of the song or the title of the band, but Violent Memphis, Albancella.
Never heard of it.
Hava Nagila by Dylan Francis.
Yep, nope.
Northern Cali, Southern Oregon, Suspect 707. Oh, that's the name.
They must all be too hipster for me.
Bonjour, Madame Nightcore Lounge.
No.
Dirty Silence, but silence is spelled with the $sign for the S. By R. Reet.
I wonder if that's a hip-hop song then, because of the $sign.
Yeah, lots of gangster shit, so it would make sense. Anthem.
To any of them?
No. No. Anthem of the Lonely, female version by Unknown.
Ah, of course, gotta get the female. Unknown? Are you serious?
I guess.
Do that much research. Where did he hear it? Did he just hear it on the radio?
Maybe it's actually unknown.
Well, how could that be? Like, how old would a piece of music have to be for its author to be unknown? Damn.
You don't listen to anonymous music tracks?
I guess not.
What about Adios by KMFDM?
No.
What about Tokyo Drift by Antoshka?
No, I thought that one might be one, but no, also not heard of any of these.
What about Datura by Remorse? Okay, here's one. How about Columbine by Hot Sugar?
Not a one, no.
The Perfect Girl by Maru. Crash
Maroon
Test
5,
by Creepy
maybe?
Maine. He Sells Drugs at the Renaissance Fair by Hot Sugar. Again, Hot Sugar. Hex by Dance with the Devil. Or Dance with the Dead, I mean.
No, I guess these Sumo musics I haven't heard of. Maybe Heartsy would be more familiar with them.
What about Redbone by Childish Gambino?
Well, I guess I've heard the name, but I've never listened to that.
Yeah, at least I know who that is. Stuntin' Like My Daddy by Birdman and Lil Wayne.
Well, I guess I've heard of Lil Wayne as well.
Is he the one who says what, or is that Lil Jon? That might be John. What? Okay! That kind of shit.
No, I guess that's probably not him. But maybe I think he might have done Lowrider. Is that no? That's.
Have you seen the Cooking by the Book remix featuring Lil Jon?
No.
You got to do the Cooking by the Book. If it get hazy, I don't remember. But then Lil Jon's like, grab that dick, it's yours, bitch. Grab. Yeah. Turn around, bitch. Put an ass on it. Grind on his dick, make it get a little bigger. You can guess what bigger was going to rhyme with.
That we're supposed to list.
I think you would enjoy the Cooking by the Book remix. Are you a fan of Lazy Town?
Yeah, they're all right.
Yeah, it's a song from Lazy Town about cooking a cake. You got to go by the cookbook. But then Lil Jon or Lil Wayne, one of them, he comes in to remix it.
Oh wait, no, this is embarrassing. I was thinking of Crazy Town. Oh well.
What is Crazy Town?
You probably heard them. They're like moderately famous like 20 years ago.
Okay. Well, I think that might cover most of my thoughts on this book. I know I was extremely negative, but it was a fun read, a good little romp. Maybe if he does do a sequel, he can get a little more creative with the use of his power. And there's a link in the description if anybody wants to go check it out. I don't know if
Did you upload it?
Well, it's on Amazon.
Oh, the book is... Wow,
yeah.
Okay.
I don't have a physical copy, but I don't know if he's selling the digital or if you can just get it for free. But you can get it on Kindle or whatever. So if you are interested, based on this review, I got a link to that. I know Florian's about to go read it right now.
Well, you should explore the themes of it more. Like what does it all mean? There must be some deeper meaning here that we haven't gotten yet.
Well, that's what the author's note was for, was to tell us what it means. It's that it's anti-woke, and that the only way to defeat the darkness is for us to all stand together and be anti-woke.
But that's the opposite of what you've told me about the book. So, like, there's got to be something here that we're missing, right? Like, is the character supposed to be like, what happens if you're too woke? You just go crazy with drugs and stuff?
I mean, again, this was written by a 16-year-old, Florian.
Yeah, I guess there would be no deeper meaning. I guess that's possible. I'm impressed when anybody writes a book. Like, if you haven't done it, you have no idea how hard it is to write 300 plus pages of a fucking narrative and have it be coherent and readable. And like, who could possibly want to read 300 pages of something that you write? It's very difficult to do. And the fact that this teenager has done it multiple times now, I think is very impressive. And he's only, like, this is a huge improvement over the Trifler sequel, if he's the one who actually wrote that. Huge improvement. I actually wanted to read this. I actually finished it and enjoyed it. Wow.
So I think he's
all to the end, right?
so he's getting better and better, and I'll keep reading his future work for sure. If he sent it to me, I'll check it out.
So I guess it's already on Amazon, so it's too late to add like a proper ending to it, huh? Or maybe not.
This is the ending he wanted, Florian.
I mean, probably doesn't want it anymore now, right? Like, after he's heard all the flaws with it.
I don't know. I think he's a strong enough man to stand by his decisions and not be influenced just by one guy's opinion, even though he paid for the opinion. Speaking of paying, I want to talk about his editing shit. He evidently paid Fiverr editors over $1,200 to like scrub through the book and help him with it. And I don't know how to tell you this, but you got fucking robbed. Absolutely fucking robbed. There are so many mistakes in the book. Like, if you want to give me another 180, I will do a proper edit of your book for you. Whoever you paid, I don't know if they actually took a look at it. You'll have to tell me the process, but there are so many just basic spelling and grammar mistakes that pop up every now and then that if I paid somebody over $1,000 to find those for me, and this is the final product, I'm getting a big fucking refund. So for anybody out there, if you're
gonna refund on Fiverr, I mean, I guess
probably not.
It's people, right?
I think it's too late for him.
But Fiverr is like pretty crazy. There's like a lot of people who really don't know their shit on there if you hire them, and then some of them aren't even native speakers, so it'll be a big problem for something like this.
Mm-hmm. Well, so I'll say, if anybody out there has written a book or an essay or any piece of writing, this is literally what I went to school to do. I am trained to be an English teacher at a high school level. So editing, writing is like the most easy thing to me. So if anybody out there wants to save fucking $1,200 on a Fiverr editor, hit me up. I'm much cheaper. We can negotiate a much more logical price, and I'll do a 5 times better job than these fucking people did.
It's funny because he would have probably totally loved to have you do it if he realized that you were so open to such lowly work.
Yeah, he could have saved about $500 and had me work closely with him on his entire novel, but he hired some randos who did not do their job.
Wow, I guess the next one's going to be big then with your collaboration.
Yeah.
If he hasn't run out of money, well, I guess who knows?
Folks, do not hire an editor for your fucking novel, especially if you're a 16-year-old. Okay, at this point in time, there is no advantage to doing that. If you're trying to get your book published, and I think I skipped that. He's trying to get this book published. I need to find that part because it's very funny. You people need to realize the whole publishing book industry is dead. Okay, sure, maybe in the 80s people would want to go buy a book and read it. It's 2024. Florian has not read a book in 10 fucking years. People,
I gotta tell you, there are bookstores indeed, and they're
all closing. Every fucking Barnes and Nobles and Borders is fucking closing. The book industry is dead. Okay, people are so stupid and lazy that the vast majority of them cannot be bothered to sit down and read a fucking book. They come home from work and they want to watch TV or YouTube, okay? So if you want to write a book for all the book readers out there, that's fine. That's great. I do it too. But don't waste your money on it and try to get it published because it's a dead industry. Just sell it yourself. Independent publishing is the way to make the most money. I heard that published authors only get $1 for every book sale because of how much goes to the company and marketing and shit.
Yeah, but how many more sales do they get?
Who knows? These days, probably not that many. There are there's probably 10 million new books a year, and how many of them end up actually selling over 500 copies? Probably not that many.
Probably the ones that have publishers are way more likely to be successful, though.
Not fucking true, dude. First of all, you're not going to get published. It's very, very hard to even get in. And second, you're making so little money. Like, what, you have to sell 100,000 copies of this book just to make $100,000? If you sell something independently on a website like Lulu, you can get $8 per book. I do. Every time I sell a copy of my book, I make fucking bank.
Well, yeah, because you already have a way of publishing it, of making it popular, you know?
Yeah, I'm just saying, in the modern day, there is no reason to go to a publishing company. And I need to find what he wrote about it, because he was complaining about it.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure that they definitely do something for the money, but who knows?
Okay, here it is. I had created an author's note the day I finished the book, but it sucked, so I'm creating something new. I originally wanted to traditionally publish Mindjacker, but basically all agents weren't interested or just didn't respond. I don't want to throw shade at anyone particularly, but the system to present your work sucks. Basically, you have to present your masterpiece to surpass Metal Gear in a query letter. And one, if not the most important factor for if an agent starts having interest, is the comparisons or comps. Is your book like The Hunger Games? Is your book like The Maze Runner? Is your book Woman Whose Family Member is Murdered and a Serial Killer is on the Loose, number 232? If your book can't fit into 2 or 3 easy comps and every character in your book isn't black or gay, we're simply not interested. If you've ever walked into the thriller section of Barnes & Noble, and he spelled Barnes & Noble wrong, you know the shocking lack of diversity there rivals a Klan rally. And I must say, before I continue, this is 100% not their fault. Barnes & Noble is one of the best bookstore companies in history, and their stores have lots and lots of treasure. The problem specifically with thrillers is the selection they have to choose from. To put on their shelves is bad. 99% of the books are about some serial killer in a small town, or it's a CIA agent, or it's a domestic suspense with a crazy husband. Especially with the serial killers, it's funny because when do you ever hear about big serial killer cases on the news in the current year? You read about all these serial killers being serial killers, but you almost never see books about gangsters and the happenings of the streets. Maybe S.A. Cosby wrote some, but basically no one else. You're absolutely dead if your book is too original and too hard to easily categorize. Sad face emoji.
Well, I mean, I think that's probably... It's funny that he would think that he could get a publisher if he's like writing a manga screen at the end and he's trying to end wokeness.
Yeah,
but and also I think it's probably the Barnes and Nobles probably have made this selection, and that's why the publishers are trying to give them more of what they already like. I mean, I don't know if originality is even what sells.
Well, it's because the book industry is on a decline. I'm going to keep saying this because it's fucking true. And at this point, they're not going to accept it unless they know it's going to have mass appeal and sell as much as possible. Like, that's the end stage of capitalism here. Artistic integrity is out the window. They only want what they think will sell a lot of copies. That's why I'm saying independent publishing is the route everybody should take. There's a reason why SoundCloud and stuff is so popular. People can post their own music directly to the internet. You don't need a record company anymore. It's the same thing with a publishing book company. Like, this shit is expired. Technology and the internet have allowed us all to be our own independent publishers. So I don't even know why he bothered trying to get this shit published.
Well, just had to try to be like like old school way successful. I mean, it could have worked out, I guess.
We have a
get there.
He wrote the full name of his Fiverr editor. Should I dox this person?
No, why would you?
It's in the book. It's in the book.
Well,
it says to my proofreader,
no.
Emma Milan on Fiverr. You did an excellent job killing some of the worst mistakes I threw up onto my screen. I really thank you for editing the last 30,000 words when I didn't pay you to. Whoa.
Wow.
Well, maybe that's why she gave up, because she was not getting paid for the final 30,000.
Well, maybe he added all new errors to it before she even had to look at them, you know?
Yeah. There's a lot more to this author's note, but maybe I should just cool it and we can wrap up the show.
Well, yeah, I guess it's hard to review a book I haven't read.
Sure. Yeah, I just needed somebody to bounce my ideas off of.
Yep. Well, I guess everyone should check this out if they want. If
sure.
They do it now.
Yeah, now that I've spoiled literally the entire book for you, go check it out. Florian, so we recently did a 2-man Is It Kino over the Hunger Games prequel. Remember that?
Yeah.
Did you know that video has been age restricted?
Well, what did you do this time? Jesus.
That's what I'm going to ask you. You were there. Did either of us say anything that would warrant an age restriction?
Yes, you said lots of edgy things.
Like what? What did I say in that movie review that only an 18-year-old can hear?
Like you were celebrating how the Down syndrome person had died and everything, you know?
Okay, that's not an age restrictable joke?
Yeah, I mean, like, age restriction is one thing, but I mean, like, probably ad restriction for sure, right?
Well, a lot of my videos get demonetized, but age restriction is, I get that maybe once a year. Like, that's bullshit. That means you have to be 18 and have a YouTube account to even click on the video.
Ah.
Well, they told me what I did.
Oh, yeah, let's hear it.
Yeah, when I said that your video editor is a dumb fuck, which, by the way, that was Florian's fault. It was the result of misinformation. Based on the information he gave me, I was correct with my dumb fuck diagnosis. But it turns out he actually did use the edit that I did, so he was not as dumb as I thought. But
I told him to use like the clips, but he did the audio mostly fresh.
Hey, it is what it is. I saw stuff that I edited in that video, so I was satisfied. But it said that when I called him a dumb fuck, that was sexual nature. Is too sexual, and that's why it's age restricted. I fought it. I said no, and they said fuck you, and then they doubled down. So nice try, Florian. It's not because I made fun of Down syndrome. It's because they're fucking retarded, and it's undeserved, as usual.
Well, you did go pretty wild on that one.
Yeah, and then they punished me for nothing.
I mean, you were yelling pretty hard, you know? I don't know.
What does that have to do with an age restriction? For fuck's sake!
I mean, do you think kids usually listen to someone just cursing at the
Yes!
Top of the lung?
Yes!
Is that something that gets to be seen by kids? Wow.
I'm sorry, are PewDiePie and Markiplier not cussing in their fucking videos now? Did I just imagine that?
I mean, don't they bleep themselves?
I don't fucking know.
I think.
Mr. Beast is the only family-friendly content creator out there, Florian.
I mean, yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, PewDiePie had like this whole controversy. I don't know. Wasn't he demonetized at some point?
I don't know.
When he said the N-word? Well,
hey,
I guess
that was probably on Twitch.
Dropped. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's still they still canceled his YouTube show.
Oh, yeah, he had like a YouTube premium show.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Who cares?
I mean, yeah.
Do you have anything you want to plug this week, Florian? I'm just going to post this right after we record it, so it's going up right now.
Well, everyone check out my Rick and Morty video about Season 7. That was a moderately good video, you know. Probably the first half's better, but it's there. Everyone check out Anti-Reviews for that. And check out my my main channel where I did an Isaac Explained that actually got a lot of attention and people liked it, so maybe you will too.
Ooh, how much attention are we talking, Florian?
It got 20k views.
Oh my god! I would
300 subscribers, yeah.
Man, I long for the days when I could hit 20k views. It's been a little bit.
I mean, surely you have, right? Yeah, that's the crazy one got like 300k, right?
I mean, I haven't gotten a good view count in probably half a year, but then again, I've only posted twice in the last half a year, so it's probably my fault.
Wait, let me check. 4 months ago you got... Oh, wait, no, never mind. Why did I think that...
I haven't got a good view count in like over a year, but again, that is my fault.
I swear I saw that one with 300k. Wow, weird. How did that happen?
Yeah, probably not.
No, wait, it does.
Which one?
When you sort it by popularity, it says it has 400k. Oh,
what?
Wait, 4 years ago. I'm stupid.
Yeah,
Never mind.
yeah, that's an old video.
Oops.
Well, folks, this is probably my most profitable Is It Kino of all time. I made $180 for doing this podcast, but I did also have to read a whole book and take a bunch of notes that were useless. If anybody wants to make me review something else, don't just send the money and then demand it. Hit me up. We can talk about it. Maybe I'll edit your book for you or something. But I think for this non-canonical Is It Kino, I've been Simian Jimmy.
And I've been Florian Himsel. Bye, everyone.